Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube page. Today we're going to be making lobster bisque. Welcome to my kitchen. Okay, so what I did is I pre-steamed the lobster to make a roux or a fish base or a lobster base rather. So you have some flavor. So this lobster stuck me earlier with that sharp thing there. Cut. Okay, so what we did is I just put the strainer in there to get all the rest of the juices out of the lobster so when I crack it doesn't make a mess. So what we have is in the stock, I don't know if you guys can see that. I can come a little closer if you'd like to pan down. So what you do is you're going to make, can you get it? So there's your stock, your lobster stock. Okay, so we got some basic ingredients. Today we're going to be using a pinch or two of black pepper, a little bit of paprika for flavor and coloring if necessary, some salt, and as I'm putting it in, we'll go over how much we're going to actually use. A little bit of parsley. So people prefer to use shallots, and quite frankly, I'd rather use shallots too, but I don't have any shallots. Who the hell keeps shallots in the refrigerator? So I have onions in there. So I cut those up real fine. A stick of butter, a can of real lobster meat with the juice in its own juice. So, okay, and some white wine, some flour, and you can use heavy cream. You can use half and half. I'm going to use milk, and for the thickness, if you guys are probably thinking, okay, well, how's he going to get the thickness or consistency? How you're going to get the thickness and consistency is with the flour that we're going to wisp in there. Okay, so let's go over here. We're going to crack open this lobster. If you want to pan down a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the lobster on top here, snap the tail off. Okay? Take the claw, snap it off. Take the other claw, snap it off. Take the body. We're done with the body. We have no more use for it. Okay? Got my knife here. I'm going to cut this stuff out of here a little bit. Put that off to the side. This was a male lobster, as we can see. So the way I go about getting the lobster meat out of this tail, let's rinse this out a little bit. It's kind of nasty. All right. I take it like this, and I squeeze it together, and I crack the lobster, squeeze it, and then he pisses on me. And then I open it up like this, or you can, it's not working out so well. Well, it kind of is. But, and then you just take the shells and you discard them. It actually just opens right up, and you can just pull it right out. A little bit of stock in there, pour it in the pot. You want to catch the essence of the lobster juice because that's going to be your true flavor. So we're going to take clean that out a little bit. Okay. Claws, snap the claws apart. The best you can. Try not to prick yourself like I did a little while ago. And work on grabbing that meat out of there. Pop these off. This is a little time consuming, so we're just going to do that. And I tell you what, guys, I'm going to clean this lobster out so it's not such a lengthy video and you guys get the gist of it. And then when I come back, the lobster meat is going to be deshelled and cut up on the side. And we'll get ready to make the actual bisque. We'll see you guys in a few. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so what I've done here is I deshelled the lobster and cleaned it out a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop it up a bit, okay? Now I'm not going to put all of this into my lobster stock because when you're serving this, if you're at home, you want to put the entire thing in there, that's fine. If you're serving it, if you're having guests over, or if maybe you're a restaurant and you want the presentation, a lot of things are about the presentation just as well as the flavor. So you may want to just leave a little bit of lobster just to kind of dress up the bisque itself, put it on top with maybe a parsley sprig or a little bit of dried parsley even would look just beautiful. And I'll show you that as we get down there. So got the tail here. I'm just going to I'm just going to cut it lengthwise, and then I'm just going to cut it, side to side here, and just put that over. Okay, so now this is a fresh one here. So what I'm actually going to do is cook off the lobster that I have in the can, and use the fresh lobster to dress up for the presentation. So I'm going to cut across to the pan over here, add a little bit of milk to our stock. So if you have, say, this is really boiling up. So if you have, say, 6 cups of broth, 6 cups of water per pound and a half lobster, just so you can get your stock from it. Okay. So once you have your stock, you take your lobster out, deshell it, get your meat, bring the water back up to a boil. You're going to add some half and half if you like, or heavy cream even if you like. I'm going to use milk here just to kind of show you. So it's probably like an equal amount per milk versus water. So a cup to a cup, pretty much. You want that creamy color. I'm going to pop this back in the fridge because I don't want it to spoil. It's been out quite a bit. I actually previously added some milk to it, so we can kind of condense this video, so it wouldn't be so lengthy. So I'm gonna pop this back up to about 4 here. Okay, we're gonna get that going. We're gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna put 1 stick of butter, chopped up in thirds. Okay, so it melts quicker. My onions, I have 1 small onion here. I'm going to put that in there. I don't want it to be too overpowering, so I'm not actually going to use the entire onion. I probably used about maybe 1/3 of the onion. So now I'm going to get a little bit of salt in here just to give it a little bit of flavor. Saltiness in there. And I'm not yet going to add the paprika. I'm going to kind of see where the color, how it turns out. I'm going to pop this back up, actually turn it on pretty high. To expedite this, you're going to cook down the onions, cook down the butter and the milk. Okay, and do that. You want to put a little bit of wine in there too. You want to do it now because you want everything to cook off. You want the alcohol to cook off of the wine as well, so you get the flavor from the wine, but less the alcohol flavor. So you just want the flavor from the wine itself. I don't have sherry, or else I'd probably use sherry because it would give it a much more richer taste. However, guys, we're going on what we have without going crazy, running here to this store, that store, blah, blah, blah. The only thing you really had to run out and get is the lobster itself. So I'd say about 1/4 cup of white wine for the pot, and then maybe the rest for myself. No, I'm kidding. My thumb was over it. All right. So we're going to whisk that in there. Cook it down. Cook it all down. Now, while that's cooking down, I'm going to head over here, and I'm going to continue to chop up this lobster. That one's good. Good. Okay, so I'm actually going to put this in this little souffle cup here. And that's to not mix it up with the canned lobster. So I'm going to drain this out, put this broth in here because this broth actually has a lot of flavor. Lobster's been sitting in it, and it's essentially its own broth. So that's going to, this smells really good already, guys. Okay. So that's in there. I'm going to pop this out here. Boom. There's that. That looks beautiful. Now, at the bottom, you have little tiny bits and pieces. You don't want to go nuts. You don't want to mince it. You want to kind of leave some larger pieces in there so people could say, oh, wow, look at the meat, blah, blah, blah. and it tastes delicious. You know, people are eating lobster bisque. There's something that I really can't say is when you're in a restaurant and you order lobster bisque, and it's like, I don't know, drinking broth. I want to taste something. I want to chew on something, and you know, with the chunks of lobster, you can do that. You know, I just don't want to. I don't want to drink my soup. I want to eat it. You dig what I'm saying? All right. So we're not going to put that in just yet because we got to put in the flour, add it to the broth that's bubbling up right now. So we're gonna add that in. I'm gonna give this a stir, and you got to be very, very careful. This will burn as well. The cream. What happens is the heavier cream from the milk kind of cooks down and goes to the bottom of the pan rather, and it can start to burn rather quickly. So you want to absolutely keep an eye on that. Okay, so that's down to 4 here. So I'm gonna grab a cup here. I want to do it so you guys can see. So this is a 1/2 cup scooper. So we're working with about 6 cups of broth. Just to recap, 6 cups of broth, 6 cups of water. And we're going to not just dump this entirely in. I should probably hold it away from there so it doesn't clump up. But we're going to try to like put it in there like we would shake grating cheese on our pasta, okay? Because we don't want it to lump up. So, and you know, doing this as we're stirring it. So, that looks beautiful. That looks good. Just wisping it. No chunks. You don't want any chunks in there. You don't want it balling up. So I'm gonna get another one in here. Okay, I'm just gonna put this in here until the consistency, which I can already feel it and see it, starting to get like a pudding-like consistency. No, not a pudding-like consistency. Kind of like a thicker fruit juice type of consistency. I'm not good with consistencies. I'm good with eating though, obviously. But in cooking, I enjoy cooking. I do not rather enjoy cleaning. That's what the dishwasher's for. No, not you, baby girl. The dishwasher under the counter. So this is thickening up nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this as it is right here. Dare I attempt to show you guys? Probably drop it, spill it, and if we do, it's going to be a wrap. So, all right, here we go. I don't know how I feel about this. But here it is. It looks watery right now. But guys, I promise you, you can always add more, and this is absolutely going to thicken up. Can you see it? It's absolutely going to thicken up. Okay. So now, I want to taste this. I want to taste it a little bit. I want to make sure that it has the flavor that I'm looking for. And it has the flavor, but it needs more salt. So I'm going to throw the rest of this in. It's probably about, I don't know, it was quite a few pinches. No, it's about a 1/2 teaspoon. That's in there. We're going to put more onion in here. I know I said I didn't want to use it, but because I tasted it, and I think, you know, the onions are cooking down. You know, some onions are more powerful than others. This one, bought these about a week ago, so they're not that potent still. So now we're going to add in the lobster meat from the can. Chopped up, not too small though, not too small. How many minutes are we at? 10. Okay. So we're gonna get a move on here, guys. So you guys can get the gist, and then don't forget at the end. I want to thank my brother-in-law Paul for just giving me a great idea with putting the ingredients, how much ingredients, and exactly what ingredients we used to get these wonderful products we've been producing lately. So so you guys don't have to go back and say, oh my God, I gotta watch it again, blah, blah, blah. What did he put in there? What did he put in there? It's all gonna be at the end of the video. You can screenshot it. And this is thickening up nicely, by the way. So you can screenshot that to get, to get the exact amount of everything that we used here. So, okay, put a little bit of parsley in. And I didn't get the color that I was really looking for just yet. But we're not done, are we? Hell no. We're not done. So, this was about a teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon of parsley flakes. Okay? A little bit of black pepper. Quarter of a teaspoon, throw it in. Pop. That's in there. Losing my towel. Whisk that up, coming together nicely. Oh, this is looking good, boy. Very, very good. And I will absolutely not need any more flour. That thickened up really nicely. So I'm going to put this flour away, get it out of here, because I don't want moisture getting into it. Color. Color's a little bit of an issue here. It looks nice. Some people like it white. Some people like it pink. Some people like it brown. I like it just a little bit of lobstery color, you know. I want to be able to catch the entire essence of what I'm eating right down to the shell color. Was that corny? I don't know. Maybe it was. But there's one thing that we know for sure, guys. I damn sure know how to eat. So stick with me. Watch these videos because they're simple videos of things that you would not even think of making. Oh, I can't make that. It's too hard. No. I stick with the simple stuff, and you can too. So now I'm going to... I didn't taste it again. Hold on. Okay. Look at this. Look at this consistency. Look at that. You see the parsley in there. You catch a little bit of the paprika, the lobster, a little bit of onion. I'm spilling it on my hand. And I bet it tastes good. That tastes very good. Very, very good. Okay. So, that is fantastic. I want to cook it so everything kind of infuses and ties together. And that's exactly what it's doing. I can actually use a little bit more wine. I feel that maybe just a little bit, you know, just a little bit more wine. Just a little bit. Slipped. All right. That was enough. So, actually, after everything's said and done, we have the onions that I put in towards the beginning. We got our broth from one lobster, the broth, the onions, the butter, the pepper, the parsley, a little bit of paprika, and about a half a cup of white wine. Cooked it down. How everything's tying together beautifully. I'm going to dish this out because I spark it up a little bit. I'm going to dish this out because we're cutting close to the time, and I know you guys are very excited to go to the grocery store and get whatever you need to make this lobster bisque. So I'm going to plate it out, show you guys exactly the type of presentation people are looking for, and what I'm looking for right now is the parsley. So this is like a magic show. Hold on, I can't show you what I'm doing. Damn it. Okay, so this is, we're going to plate this out. Oh, it smells delicious. I tell you, the onions and the parsley and the black pepper, the butter, of course, and the lobster, everything just ties together beautifully. Oh, look at that. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to eat this now. So I'm going to give myself a nice serving. Put that down to simmer. Okay. So here's where your lobster comes in. Poof. A little bit of parsley, what I do with it. And this presentation here, guys, is absolutely fantastic. Okay? You can serve this with oyster crackers, or you can just serve it as it is. It's delicious. Can you see it? It's fantastic. And everyone will truly be impressed Now's the test. Hold on, I gotta get a piece of lobster on there. Ah, that's the bisque I'm looking for, baby. Delicious. Delicious. A little hot, but delicious. That's our lobster bisque. Turn this down. Turn it off. Guys, thank you for joining me. And next week, we're going to be making, let's see, what should we make next week? I'll tell you what, why don't you guys put in the comments what you would like to see me make. Keep it simple. Keep it under 8 ingredients or less. Tell me what you want me to make. I'll make it. If you guys can't make a decision, I'll make it for you. I'm kind of thinking artichokes, stuffed artichokes, but it's kind of a lengthy process because I have to cook long, but I guess I could put it all together, show you guys, then come back after they're cooked off and get to enjoy them. So, guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy your lobster bisque, and I hope you guys have a wonderful new year, and I look forward to hearing from you your questions or your recommendations on what you'd like to see me cook next. So, Happy New Year, guys. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas, and this lobster bisque right here, forget about it. It's delicious. Get out there, go to the store, get the lobster, put your ingredients together, make this for your family. It's freezing out here on the East Coast. We're freezing. It's like 10 out. Get out there, warm up, make everybody happy. When they're full, when I'm full, I'm happy. So, guys, we'll see you soon. Enjoy the lobster bisque. And don't forget to make your recommendations of what you'd like to see me make it next. Happy New Year, guys. We'll see you soon.